This is a story that I just don't buy. Durant to the Warriors. I think there's zero chance it happens.
I believe that you should have stayed with the team, the championship contender that you were on, where you spent 9 years. That's where you should have stayed.
Not theirs. They didn't ship him out. He left on his own accord. And now he should just move on and let it all go. It was interesting to me. He says he's still watching every Thunder game. You think Russell Westbrook's watching the Warriors? As he said the other day, Russell's like, me? Watch the why? Like he doesn't care. He has moved on.
You went to the team who beat you. That's my problem.
I don't buy this Steph Curry's all in on Kevin Durant. I don't buy it.
I am a black man on national television with a big mouth.
Something that someone has achieved that continues to exist after they stop working or die. Legacy. So Michael Jordan left behind the greatest legacy we have ever seen. Kobe left behind one of the most memorable legacies and finishes we have ever seen. Tim Duncan needs no words. He's the greatest power forward ever. LeBron James is still writing his legacy. Dirk, Magic, Bird, Kareem, and so many more legends. But what about Kevin Durant? I've already made a video on how LeBron basically wins against Kevin Durant every time they play, and how it comes to big moments, Kevin Durant doesn't always rise up to the occasion. So what legacy will he leave behind, if any at all? Will Russell Westbrook leave behind a more defining legacy? In some cases, legacy isn't necessarily about rings or championships. Allen Iverson left behind a legacy that no one can replicate. But KD doesn't have the attitude, desire, or heart that Iverson had. What will it take for Durant? How much time will it take for Durant? Now, loyalty to one team is a bit overrated, and honestly, that benefits the owners a ton and allows them to profit off of this so-called loyalty. If a team is incapable of putting talent around you and the organization is just poorly run, then you should have every right to leave, and that's what I believe. Owners benefit from the loyalty narrative because this makes superstars not want to leave their team even though they can't do their job right. And because of this undying loyalty that our players must have, their careers rot away on trash teams. But here's the thing when it comes to Durant. OKC did an amazing job. I don't even need to get into how much raw talent KD had around him. Loyalty is overrated, but not when you get to play with Russell Westbrook. I really don't need to go into a ton of details because you all know what happened. Up 3-1 to the Warriors, KD plays terrible according to his standards, and then straight up bounces to the team that just bounced him. Guys, I can go on and on as to why this move by Durant was incredibly weak, and unfortunately I have to agree with Stephen A. Smith's take. And that is exactly why we ask ourselves, did he destroy his legacy forever? When it comes to legacy, I'm very passionate about it, and there aren't many discussions more entertaining than talking about what legacies players left behind. I'm not perfectly okay with what KD did, but I can understand it from afar. Leaving Oklahoma City, that had me thinking. Even if KD is happy and experiences success in Golden State, will his legacy be what it should be? Well, let's look at his history. When KD was in the University of Texas, I knew he was going to be something more than an ordinary star player. Then, when he was in OKC, I thought he was going to be the next legend. It was obvious he was a special player, but he was a crop above the rest. I thought they were going to win multiple rings and KD would cement himself. Heck, KD was literally one game away from winning it all just a few months ago. And this is another reason why I think KD's decision was wrong, because I truly believe this OKC team with KD back would have contended in the West again. Winning in OKC while being the main guy was KD's best chance at leaving behind a forever lasting mark. But he totally blew it. Now, I'm not trying to hate on Kevin Durant. From a talent and skill perspective, it's no discussion. He's a surefire Hall of Fame player and one of the greatest talents we have ever seen play basketball. But when we think about it, this league has seen many tremendous players. Your legacy goes far beyond that. There's a list of the 50 greatest players of all time. But ask yourself, how many of them do you actually know? How many of them have left you with something memorable? How many of them have left behind a defining legacy? Of course, some of you haven't seen them play, but some of you haven't seen MJ play either. You still look at him as the GOAT. That's legacy, people. So what will be KD's legacy? Will he fall in the category of a great player who is either remembered for all the wrong reasons or not remembered at all? Did he destroy his legacy? So the answer goes both ways. But I have to say he did. Kevin Durant ruined his legacy. Or to put it in better terms, Kevin Durant left an everlasting stain on his legacy. Now, before anyone gets mad, this isn't how I feel. This isn't how I think. I think he's a great enough player to overcome what he has done and redeem himself. But here's the thing. I don't get to decide. I don't get to choose, and this is why the answer goes both ways. For the fans who follow the NBA closely, you guys know these kinds of things happen and KD had to make a decision. But the NBA is a global sport with hundreds of millions of fans. A lot of them being casual fans, which is totally fine. And when it comes to your legacy, the opinion of these fans matters. And this is what will be Kevin Durant's downfall. If any of this is confusing, a perfect example is LeBron and the clutch narrative. For those of you who follow the NBA closely, you know that LeBron is clutch and he killed the not clutch talk years ago. But there are still tons of casual NBA fans who think he isn't clutch. And that narrative will never leave LeBron, unfortunately. Another example is Michael Jordan, except in a positive way. For those who follow the NBA closely, you would know that Michael Jordan had his flaws and bad moments, but he's still the GOAT. Though for casual followers, he was this perfect being who did no wrong and will never be touched. All of this factors into your legacy. It all factors into what you leave behind and how you are remembered. So now it should make sense. For most fans of the NBA, KD will forever remain a snake. The guy who ditched Westbrook. The guy who left a great OKC team to join a super team. The guy who took the easy way out, even though he swears he took the hard road. Anyways, for me, he can recover his legacy. But again, I'm only one person. I don't decide how Durant is remembered. And it's going to take a lot. Even if Golden State wins the ring this year, it's going to take much more, and we're going to get into that right now. Oh, one last thing. If they lose, this video is completely pointless. That legacy talk is done, and not even 5 rings could save him. Sorry. That's how I feel. Win or bust. But that's a different video for a different day. So before we start, personally for me, I'd like to say he's eliminated himself from the Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron talk. And he can never surpass them in terms of greatness, but that's just me. He can redeem himself though and finish as potentially top 15 ever. Okay, let's look into it. Now this is all my opinion. This is all what would satisfy me. This is what will make me sit back and say, yeah, he shut us all up. You guys may have higher standards, you guys may have lower standards. But for me, he'd have to win at least 3 rings with the Warriors, and he sure as hell, 100%, undoubtedly, better be the damn finals MVP. Or at least the clear-cut dude who showed, hey, I'm the damn reason we won this ring. And I'm gonna stand by that forever. Because let me be clear, if he wins 3 rings, but Steph is finals MVP, or even Draymond, it's just gonna look like he went to another super team just to ride their coattails. And that won't do a damn thing for his legacy to me. He better be the reason they win and the closer in the big moments, in which he's looked terrible so far. Just saying. Now, as far as MVP goes, I think he took himself out of any MVP talk by joining the Warriors, and if he stays with them, I highly doubt he wins another scoring title either. But that's the baseline for me. 3 rings, 3 finals MVPs, shut us all up. Now, last thing, when it comes to his greatness and resume, I'm actually being very generous, to be honest. Let's compare KD to 2 of his counterparts these past few years, starting with LeBron. When LeBron won his first ring, people complained it was during the shortened season, and when he won his second ring, people wouldn't let go of the fact that he had to team up with 2 other All-Stars. His legacy got truly cemented only when he went back to Cleveland and won one for the land. People were still giving him hell for teaming up with Dwayne Wade to win. It took a lot from LeBron to secure his legacy, and on top of all of that, what he did wasn't nowhere near as close to as weak as what Kevin Durant did. Second, let's look at Kobe Bryant. His legacy wasn't truly cemented until he won 2 rings without Shaq. One of them being against an incredibly tough Boston team, and honestly, had he not won these 2 rings without Shaq, some people today may not even have considered him a top 20 player. Yeah, it took a lot for these guys. So yeah, legacy is no joke, and building a legacy is not easy, guys. And I don't think KD will ever go back to OKC and win a title there, but I'm being generous to him. I still think he can save his legacy. But like I said, 3 rings and 3 finals MVPs. Maybe that's asking for too little, maybe it's asking for too much. At the end of the day, It's going to take a heroic effort no matter what from Kevin Durant. Thank you guys so much for watching if you made it here. If you're new, please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button, and let me know in the comments down below. Did Kevin Durant ruin his legacy? What does he have to do to redeem himself? Again, this video is not meant to hate on KD in any way, shape, or form. I respect him as a player. I just think he has a lot of work left before he can secure himself as one of the greatest players ever. So yeah guys, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What would you change? Let me know your opinions. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned.
I am a black man on national television with a big mouth.
Of advanced stats. They can be helpful in certain cases, but some of them can be flawed.